When you're browsing online, it's easy to feel like it's just you and the screen. But the thing is, our digital lives are often way more public than we think. From your Wi Fi at home to that free connection at the coffee shop, your activity can be seen. Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful way to add a crucial layer of privacy back into your life.
So, who is watching? It's a really important question, right? Every single time you go online, you're sending out signals. So the question is, who's on the other end potentially picking them up? Let's break down who they really are.
Okay, so before we can talk about the solution, we've got to really get our heads around the problem first. In this first part, we're going to look at the digital footprint you leave behind with every single click, every tap, and every search you make online.
It's actually kind of wild how everyday stuff you do online leaves this trail of data. So you visit a website, bam, they can see your IP address, which is basically your device's unique address on the internet. You use an app, a lot of them can see your physical location. And just by browsing around, you create these patterns that reveal your interests, your habits, a whole lot more. So who are these they we're talking about? Well, it's not just one group. First, you've got your internet service provider. Yup, the company you pay for internet. They can see the sites you go to. Then the apps and websites themselves, they're collecting data. Advertisers, they are for sure building profiles on you from your browsing. And here's a big one. Hackers on unsecured public Wi-Fi can try to snoop on what you're doing.
Wow, okay, that sounds like a lot of people peeking over your shoulder. But there's a pretty straightforward tool designed to fix this. It's called a VPN, and it basically works like a private tunnel for all your internet traffic. Or, as we're about to see, it's kind of like closing your digital curtains.
I love this analogy because it's so simple and gets the point across perfectly. A VPN doesn't stop you from using the internet. You can do everything you normally do. It adds this layer of privacy so that random outsiders can't just look in on your digital life. It's such a great way to think about what's happening. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. What exactly is a VPN? It stands for Virtual Private Network. What it does is create a private, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet. And encrypted is the magic word here. It means all your data gets scrambled, making it totally unreadable to anyone who might be trying to intercept it. All right, so how does it actually do all this? Well, it's basically a 1-2 punch. First, it hides or masks your real IP address, so it looks like you're connecting from somewhere else, the VPN server, instead of your own home. Second, it encrypts all of your traffic. Those two things together make it way, way harder for anyone to trace your online activity back to you.
All right, so that's the techie stuff. But what does this actually mean for you, day to day? When you're just trying to check your email at a cafe or browse on the couch. Let's talk about the real-world tangible benefits.
Here's the real payoff, the 3 big takeaways. First, you get much safer public Wi-Fi. That coffee shop network suddenly becomes a whole lot less risky when your connection is encrypted. Second, you get less ad profiling. Since your real IP is hidden and your activity is harder to track, it's tougher for advertisers to build those super detailed profiles on you. And third, you just get an extra layer of privacy for all your connections, whether you're at home on your laptop or out and about on your phone. Okay, now it's time for a little reality check. Look, a VPN is an incredibly powerful tool for privacy. It really is. But it's not a magic bullet. It's one piece of a bigger privacy plan. And knowing its limits is just as important as knowing what it can do. This is so important to get right. Using a VPN dramatically boosts your privacy, for sure. But it doesn't make you completely invisible or anonymous online. Think of it more like it reduces your exposure and seriously strengthens your defenses. It's not an invisibility cloak. So let's just put it side by side, what a VPN is and what it isn't. It's a massive privacy boost, but it's not a shield of invincibility. It gives you reduced exposure, not total 100% anonymity. It's a fantastic and, I'd say, essential tool, but it's one very important layer of protection, not the only one you'll ever need. And that really brings us to the most important question of all, right? The one that's all about you. Everyone's concerns about privacy are a little different, so the best plan isn't some one-size-fits-all solution. It's a plan that's actually tailored to what worries you the most. So here's the bottom line. Your worry should drive your plan. It's that simple. Instead of just guessing, you can find tools that are tailored to your needs, like the right VPN for you. To get started building your own personal privacy plan, a great place to start is beaware.fyi. Thanks for tuning in.